happened there, but I got cut off, and I don't know why. But I'm going to give everybody about 30 more seconds again, and I'll get started talking before I get cut off again. Hey guys, I thought I'd do a live blog. One of the reasons why doing these live blogs is so appealing is because I got a lot of long drives where I head, so it'd be nice to have something to do. And instead of singing along with the radio, I could do something productive. And if you guys don't get to catch the morning live blogs, maybe you catch one of these afternoon ones. It'd be kind of neat. So I figure I'd do as many as I can in the convenience of my truck where I'm not doing anything anyway. But just got done wrapping up a ream install. Installed a split 3.5 ton ream system. The house had a zone panel as well. It was an EWC zone panel with 2 zones, a finished room over the garage, and the main house. Pretty common zone system here. I don't really like having really a small zone and a large zone, because whenever that small zone runs for an extended period of time, the coil gets very cold and you risk shutting down on low temperature on the zone panel or a freeze switch if it has that. EWC does make a freeze, little freeze clip-on thermal thermostat there to go on the suction line, but it didn't. That particular zone system didn't have one. It just has the discharge air temperature sensor. If it reaches a certain temperature, it'll shut things down for a few minutes. So what I did, we reinstalled all that stuff, and I thought about getting a freeze thermostat too, but half the time these people leave this upstairs zone off altogether, which is pretty common. They'll leave the zone off altogether and you have an oversized system pretty much for all of eternity. But I really do like them. They're really attractive units. They're relatively well built and easy to service, it looks like. It will be interesting once I actually do service one. I haven't taken that instrument panel off to see how nice it is reaching to that wider access to the compressor. But it looks like it's significantly larger than the competition and significantly larger than the cubes that preceded them. And not the rectangular ream units. Those were unparalleled for service access, but they're gone, I guess. And the cubes were about as tight as could be. The cubes are like the opposite of these. I put in an RH1T air handler 48, and it was rather large for ream standards. It was 21 by 21 by 50, but to me that's fantastic. That's I don't know how large the Goodman would be, 22 or 21 by 24 by like 55 or something, probably. It's much larger. So it's nice having that smaller air handler to work with. It does have an expansion valve, which is just fine. It has aluminum coil. It doesn't have an M coil, it has like an N coil. Looks like my quality is getting pretty low here, guys. Now, I don't know how well this is coming across. Mike would tell me that the audio usually comes across, but the video gets kind of sketchy. And I'm in between Hampstead and Burgaw, North Carolina, so it's a little bit out in the sticks. I'm going to power through this, and we might cut it short if it stays real low. The unit has an ECM motor, 5 speeds. That instead of using either the I or the AF static on 100 CFM. No, of our quality is gone. Guys, shit, we're back. All right, I'm back on the Great Divide. We'll see how long this lasts. Quality's already dropping. Well, I had to drive from Hampstead to Rocky Point, and the drive there goes to an area called No Man's Land, where there's no civilization. Warring tribes rule the area, and they fight civil wars. Nah, that's bullshit. Sorry. Now, we were talking about Rheem, what it was like installing them. Well, the Rheems, the compact size is awesome. I never was a huge fan of the old Rheem air handlers because they were kind of dumpy and they had those stupid cow rod heaters, which I guess was good for keeping them compact. But I never was a huge fan of them. Some of them had 825 or 850 RPM blower motors, and those damn things cost like $300. But these, I'm sure these blowers cost more because they're X13 blowers. But these blowers seem to be, I don't know, some of the Trane GAM5 blower information seemed like a lot of it put out a ton of air. But these Rheem blowers seem like they're packing a punch. Like I said, I had my field piece static probes on it, and it had a 0.3 static pressure, and that put us around 1400 CFM on a third blower tap. And that was squared away. I mean, we're 3.5 tons, so we were good to go. And we're doing this with both zones open, of course, and running. We had a 19-degree temperature spread. The pressure was on the high side around 250, and on the low side we were right around, let's see, 110 or so. I think we came down to around 105 because it got down to around 65 inside the house. I did shoot some video. It's not very complete because we were trying to book it and get it done, and we did. Tomorrow morning I'm going back for my recheck and clean up anything I didn't get today as far as trash. So the blower motor looked real good. The size of the air handler is good. Yeah, the air handler's not loud. I didn't have any issues there. It's a 21-inch, 4-ton air handler to go with a 3.5-ton heat pump. The previous one was a 17-inch air handler, and it wasn't that loud either. So I know Joe Shear had asked about the air handler, and it wasn't very loud. So it seemed like it was a win-win situation, almost too good to be true, that you could have an air handler that small and it would be 3 tons. And we just thought it was awesome. It came down off the ramp over at Jim Air, and I was like, is this a fucking apartment air handler? I didn't think it was the right air handler, but they assured me it was, and it worked beautifully. But overall, the outdoor units, it's a real attractive unit. Compact size, the 14-seater. Now the 15 was a little bit bigger, but the 14-seater I did today, it wasn't really big at all. I mean, I moved it around there by myself on a hand truck, 3.5 tons. I wheeled it over there, and I'm a big guy, but still, there's some units that I can't lift off the truck by myself. Now, John, your big 16-seater unit you had the other day, or 15-seater, we'd be doing that one together. But this one I can move over there. I can even sit the air handler off the truck by myself, just kind of lift it off, bear hug it, and sit it down. So that means it's not that heavy and not that big. After doing the 2 Rheems, now what do I think, compared Goodman to Rheem? I still think Goodman has its place. I'm going to continue to buy Goodman. I just like these Rheems, and I want to try a few of them too. I don't know if I'll buy any Amanas, because I don't see there's any point to that. I mean, if you're going to buy a Amana, you might as well just buy a Goodman. I mean, they're about the same. You might as well pay less. The Amana has a couple nice features to it, but if I'm going to get something a little fancier, I'll just go with the Rheem. Rheem's Copeland Scroll, of course, has the same defrost board as the one I set previously. The video will be coming up on this one. And you'll see a little bit more about the Testo Smart Probes. I used the refrigeration set and those 605Is. So you'll see more about that. And that's about it for this one, guys. I'm going to head back to the house. I'm taking my son to soccer practice. I might film a little bit of it when I recheck it tomorrow, then build the video up. Like I said, we have a blog coming on Monday, so this video might be next Thursday. And I'm gonna try to get back into, as soon as we slow down, have a couple extra days, I'll make a classroom video. Maybe, I was thinking about heat loss and gain, going back at that series on load calculation and maybe taking a look at different kinds of windows and how much heat transmission there is on different windows. Thought that'd be kind of good. Because there's a big difference between, now we have like low E glass, all sorts of different kinds of glass, triple pane, double pane, single pane. When you go back and look at single pane compared to double and triple pane, single pane back in the day, it was just a tremendous amount of heat loss and gain. Especially in the wintertime, you'd have heat transfer multipliers. And think about it, you have like walls now that heat transfer multipliers like 3, 5, 8 for an uninsulated wall. And you go up into a window and it might be for a double pane, 25, 30 BTUs per square foot per hour. And then you go up into single pane and it might be all the way up into 60 or 70 BTUs per square foot per hour. So there's a big difference, but we can maybe take a look at that. And then after that, we'll just do it piece by piece, maybe different kinds of walls, different kinds of floors, different kinds of ventilated areas. If you have a vented crawl space, it's going to be different than a non-vented. If you have an encapsulated crawl space, some people even have conditioned crawl spaces. That seems kind of hinky to me, but if you want to condition your crawl space. But they say it's better for the house as a whole. I don't know. We put conditioning in crawl spaces before. They were houses that were encapsulated in foam, but I don't know what their electric bill is. I don't know what their comfort would be otherwise. I just know that some engineer somewhere thought that was a good plan, so that's what they did. And I don't know. It might be great. We've had a few attics that were spray foam and then conditioned. And they actually stayed relatively cool with that spray foam up there. There's a big difference between spray foam in the rafters and no spray foam. When you walk up in the attic and it's 140 and you have spray foam up there and all of a sudden instead it's 95, it's night and day. It was impressive. But spray foam is expensive, that's why a lot of people don't do it. But definitely worthwhile. But we'll get into more stuff like that, guys. I don't want to run on forever on these vlogs. Hit you up again tomorrow morning on the way over to that job in Hampstead, North Carolina. And we'll talk more about the reams, maybe. You can give me a few reactions to the load calculation stuff. That'll be over on Talon 875 Pro. I know we started off talking about building your own transfer multipliers, but some of them you're just going to get. You're going to get a U value for a window, or you're going to get your single, double, triple pane standard glass right out of manual J or manual N. And there's a big difference. So making sure you got the right glass for your load calculation can change the tonnage of your system. So you want to make sure you get that right. And mistaking single pane for double pane. Dang it. My bank's calling me. My referral bank for when I send customers out. We'll see. We'll see what happens when they give me the voicemail. See you guys on the next one. Take me home, country road.